support role, because Licrit, he is a beast.
Well, these are two teams with very similar playstyles, very similar strategies, and how they want to win the game. Only difference is Hard Random like to do that very early, as Isurus Gaming like to take it as late as they possibly can, maybe even 67 minutes late. Perhaps I could take a note out of Destination FM's and INTZ's book here as we go into Champion Select for the match between Hard Random and Isurus Gaming. So far, Rise and Sivir have been banned away by Hard Random. Kindred, and Echo have been taken away by Isurus Gaming.
Yeah, and one thing to note, I'm pretty sure Hard Random has banned Sivir in every single game that they have been in. It doesn't matter what side they're on, they always ban the Sivir, and I feel like maybe Miracle's been burnt by it in the past. They've decided it's not something they want to be up against.
Get rid of the really strong meta 80 carry pick. Not,
But even the Rise ban, like they've picked Anivia into it and they were happy to play against it and they won that game, but still, they get rid of it.
Could possibly be thrown out at Pride, who has played this Rise in the top lane quite a few times. Strundle's going to be the final ban coming out from Hard Random, and Alistar will follow shortly after by Isurus Gaming.
Solid bans. I think everyone respecting a lot of the strong champions currently available to them. Licrit's got his Bard available as well. Old Bardo is there. That to me is a very curious thing, because looking towards the first pick, that makes a lot of sense. The second rotation will definitely need to be considered for the support role.
And the Maokai is that first pick coming from Hard Random here. A very strong tank that we see thrown into the top lane quite frequently, has returned into the meta with a little bit of quality life buffs, and also got some scaling magic resistance as well, which is quite important in the current meta with all these AP tanks running around the Rift. We'll have to see what Isurus Gaming decide to respond with their next two pickups. A lot of very strong picks are left up and available. We think of the likes of Kindred, Graves, Gragas even available here. Braum still left up and available. Kalista as well. Lots of very strong meta picks still available.
Yeah, Gragas is the flex between jungle and top, is the first big standout as they do lock those in. Kalista, the AD carry, very versatile, very good with a support champion in particular. Most likely to see the Braum go with that one as well to diffuse a lot of damage out of Hard Random. It's actually a very solid first rotation here from Isurus Gaming.
We'll have to see what Hard Random decide to respond with. They're currently hovering over Graves and Anivia. These are two champions we've touched on. Graves pretty strong in the jungle right now, resurging as a very dominant pick. In fact, this entire split, ever since he's been changed, has been a very dominant pick up in the top lane, in the jungle as well. We'll have to see if Hard Random pick that one up. But there's still Nidalee left available. Elise is still up as well as one of the lower tier junglers that are, just beyond the reach. But it is Graves that gets locked in. We saw the Anivia hover coming for Hard Random. They've played that once or twice as well. But Azir was left up and available, could possibly take it away.
Yeah, and I would imagine him going for Azir's taking it away from EMP.
That's exactly what they're going to do. EMP had a pretty impressive game on that Azir, was able to go toe-to-toe against LeBlanc, being played by Warzo from the Saigon Jokers. Definitely a champion Hard Random might not want him to pick up, try and capitalize on taking him down very early in this match.
Let's not, make anything up either. He didn't just go toe-to-toe with Warzone. He got camped and still went toe-to-toe with Warzone.
Was being ganked by the top laners, junglers, the support came in there once or twice
everybody,
as well.
yeah. Including the kitchen sink came to party in that middle lane at one point.
Have to see if Hard Random throw that kitchen sink back at ISU one more time. But for now, just waiting for the next two pickups. So far, with the Kalista and Gragas being picked up, we've seen Gragas, kind of be transitioning up into a top lane role, not so much a jungler anymore. But it's still, like you mentioned, a huge flex pick here as Karma and Poppy are going to be the next two lock-ins for Isurus Gaming.
I quite like this rotation, honestly. I think the team composition that the Latin America South team have put together is very threatening in every single aspect of the word threatening.
And they've got some very unorthodox flex picks, you could say as well. Karma, most likely in the mid lane has been thrown support once or twice. Poppy, most likely top laner. We see Double Doge rocking that with his Hextrigger down in the bottom lane. And like you mentioned, Gragas as well. Normally up in the top lane, can be thrown into the jungle as well. So Isurus Gaming, using that last pick very nicely to hide their final piece of their strategy and team composition. But there's good old Bardo. He'll be locked in with Lucian as his AD carry in the bottom lane. Yeah,
Lucian Bard locked in a dangerous and very much threatening bottom lane. They don't know who the support is, I believe, as they've kind of flexed it.
I'd rather just pick top to bottom. They're like, yeah, what do you want? Okay, I'm getting Maokai.
Yeah, they pick their roles.
I'm getting Graves.
No swaps. Means they get longer toilet breaks. That's how that works. Isurus Gaming, again, yet to pick their support, you would imagine. They could flex the Karma to their support role, but ideally the Karma is mid. especially knowing that it's against an Azir.
Very strange to use the red side as that final pickup. We have to see what they decide to go with. A lot of very strong support still left up and available. Braum does come to mind here as one of those possible picks, but they lock in LeBlanc here, so they're going to be throwing most likely Karma as the support down onto the bottom lane with Kalista, and they're going to be giving EMP his LeBlanc in the mid lane. He wants to show he knows this matchup better than Warzone did last time.
Yeah, it's not that Karma Kalista's a bad lane either. I was just very surprised they decided to put it in the support role with champions like Braum available to them. LeBlanc, however, into Azir is a very much favorable decision for Isurus Gaming, or so you would think anyway, to do. And so it makes a lot of sense that they would put that one there.
And we are going to head into the game between Hard Random and Isurus Gaming very shortly. Where are we looking for the powers between these two team compositions alive for these two teams?
Well, I think it's safe to say that Kalista Karma is potentially even stronger than a Lucian Bard. Like, that bottom lane is just going to be hitting each other constantly. It's going to be dangerous down there. And then the first step, you look at the bottom lane, you say, yeah, they're going to be fighting each other a lot. How do the junglers impact that? How do the top laners impact that? Do mid laners have teleport? Like, all of these questions actually have to come. The answer is no to a lot of them, teleport in particular. And Malco has to deal with a Poppy, so it's very hard for him to teleport in. So Poppy perhaps the one as a point of power, and Gragas is much more of a ganking jungler than that of a Graves. So there's a lot of subtle bonuses here for Isurus Gaming if they're looking to impact the map more effectively through the aggressive bottom lane that they have.
So now that we've looked at the champions, let's touch on that double teleport that we talked about earlier as well, because Hard Random and Isurus Gaming, very well known for rocking the double teleport on Summoner's Rift. Now that there's an Azir in the mid lane who normally doesn't take teleport, and he's up against a LeBlanc who can opt to pick Ignite to be a little bit more aggressive, do you think we'll still see double teleports coming into this match?
I would imagine there's no teleports used in the middle lane now. Whilst I think that it's a very good thing to have, if both of you don't have it, then it should be perfectly fine. That's the trade-off that you get for it. So picking something like Azir, risking LeBlanc to go teleport means you'd actually just do better in lane. She'd have less kill threat. And because she wants to win lane, because it's the counter matchup of LeBlanc into Azir, she has to go Ignite. Everything will kind of settle itself down, but it means that it's much more important that junglers and top laners once again get it going.
We have loaded onto Summoner's Rift between Hard Random and Isurus Gaming here for the 2016 International Wildcard Invitational, and there's a 5-man stack up top lane. Good old Bardo is leading the charge. They're trying to get a jump onto one of the players here. Will be spotted out by a ward that was put down by Poppy. Hard Random know it's there, but they're still going for this deep invade.
Yep. This is one of the first times, I believe, or one of the very few times that we've seen an actual invade this early in the game. And once again, lane swap vision is the name of the game. To be fair, the flip side of Isurus are just getting vision of where they are.
Yep.
Which is different. Opposed to the lane swaps, they might want to fight this.
Well, lots of poke damage coming out from Karma already, trying to stop Bardo from moving forward. The barrel just not going to connect, but trying to zone out Hard Random from getting back into their lanes quickly. But there are the 3 wards being placed down deep into the red side of Isurus Gaming's jungle to spot out that potential lane swap coming in from the team.
And you can tell Licorice knows what he's doing, and Miracle was like, oh, where do I ward? And there was a ping. He's like, oh, crap, better ward
that's
there.
The one.
But yeah, this is a definite sign of a lane swap based off that vision that they put in place. And this is a Bard and a Lucian opting to deny a Poppy.
Yep.
Might be to hide Smurf, though, above all else.
Well, they do end up getting that lane swap. Hard Random should be able to head up into that top lane, go 2-on-1. But meanwhile, we will see Kalista and Karma take down the Gromp camp at level 1, get a little bit of experience advantage for themselves, and slowly start the slow push for the lane swap. Meanwhile, the jungler's going to get a little bit of help from Karma too in this lane swap, and potentially help him clear out and farm up a little bit better.
Yeah, why not, I actually think the lane assignments are about to be swapped. And it's very weird to see a Karma recall without having to go top lane. You have to remember this is a support Karma, so there's no reason for Kalista to stay bottom or for Karma to go top if they're not going together. So you'll most likely see that wave cleared by Zycro and then disappear with a recall. Head back up to that top lane as the player cams have just gotten hectic.
Ooh, that is some interesting players.
That
Hello.
is hectic. All right. So we are going to match lanes, however, sooner or later. And it also means a longsword or a boots advantage for the AD carry of Isurus Gaming, which generally prompts the counter recall out of Hard Random.
So far, though, nothing too much happening between the two teams. It's going to be Gragas taking away the Rift Scuttle camp.
And we get Australian lanes.
Yay! So the lanes are going to be forced between the two teams. Upside down, a little bit tilted. But Karma and Kalista will get that lane matchup they were looking for. They
That
don't
was
like being swapped upon.
aggressively put in place by Newbie. I think it's the best way to describe what he did. He recalled like 30 seconds earlier and was like, we're going top. Zach's like, just after this wave, man. No.
Nope. Like, nah, now.
Absolutely put the foot down and forced the duo lane to meet each other in the top lane.
Don't need lanes when you can farm champions, mate. Come up top with me. Get this done right.
That doesn't make sense. He's still in a lane.
That's true.
That's
This
confusing
is why
me.
you're the color caster.
That's a rule of thumb for junglers, right? Where you say champs, not camps.
Meanwhile, EMP going to get jumped on here by LeBlanc in the mid lane. Both the junglers making a little bit of an appearance here as well. Gragas has got the barrel down onto the Azir, but Gray should be able to push him backwards with his shotguns. And this is aggressive positioning coming in from Karma and Kalista. Good old Bardo taking a little bit of damage here. Going to be tethered down. Flashes come forward. Going to be able to get the heals off as well from both these teams. But so many spears into him. Not going to be enough to take him down. But they're still putting on so much aggression onto the AD carrier support.
Yeah, and this is the Karma Kalista. The thing is, though, Summoners burnt absolutely everywhere in this lane. We already said that junglers are going to be a big deal. Well, increase that by tenfold for the rest of this laning phase, or for at least the next 5 minutes. There's only 2 flashes remain. They are thankfully on the AD carries, though.
We saw a little bit of action at middle lane as well. It was EMP that came off the back end of that. Had to recall first, and Zia will be able to push up that lane as much as he possibly likes. It's Poppy in the tree just going to be farming it out down in that bottom lane for now. Happy duking it out as the 2 tanks. As we go back into that top lane, like you mentioned, Kalista and Karma, they burn all the summoner spells on Bard. Got the heal from Lucian as well. Had to use both. Had to use the same summoner spells on their side, but you'd have to think they'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I think you'll find that they're perfectly fine. The Karma and Kalista lane well and truly in control. You could tell by the fact that they wanted standard lanes this aggressively. They definitely thought that they could win the lane. They've proven that to be correct.
And Isurus Gaming seems to have a plan for this lane. They have Gragas waiting inside the brush.
You can see the hesitation, by the way. He'll wait for a minion to be attacked before he considers going in. And it's not going to be the first melee minion, it'll be the second one. But well done from Miracle.
He's able to spot them out. Senses something fishy coming in for the side of Isurus Gaming. This is very different from their team, though. They're known to fumble the early game, but this time round, Isurus Gaming have gone into the game against Hard Random with a plan for early game, and that is to get this 2-on-2 going.
And to be fair, I still think they're fumbling the early game. They're just not in the 2v2. Even then, they're still losing in farm in this 2v2, right? Like, top lane for Hard Random is the only one that's behind. You've got 27 to 13 in terms of CS for junglers right now. And you've got 40 to 32 in a mid lane that's actually still going well for Kira in what was considered a good matchup for LeBlanc.
This is equated to about 400 gold in Hard Random's favor for now. As here comes the Magical Journey. No flashes onto this Karma support. Going to get locked down by the binding. They're going to be able to take you down. First blood goes to good old Bardo.
And that's the thing, right? Level 6 Graves, because he was hard farming his jungle, has a longsword on top of his jungle item, and is leaps and bounds ahead of Kratos, who is level 4. Very easy to just take the Magical Journey and burst their face off, really. Well done from Hard Random to secure that first blood.
Gragas tries to come around the side there to help out with defending this top lane outer turret, which gets shunked down incredibly low by the 3 members. They were able to get that successful gank off onto the Karma.
Still 1,000 in the lead, man, as well, without a turret being taken.
And this is Isurus Gaming once again. You said they were fumbling that early game, and that gank coming in for Graves makes that even worse.
It solidifies that fact even further as well, yeah, because the Maokai is always going to be relevant, and he's actually caught up in farm perfectly fine. Pride actually needs to try and have an impact on the rest of this map if he wants to get the rest of his team going, and EMP cannot afford to continue to, I guess, lose trades in this middle lane. But he's level 6, and so in terms of trading, you would favor EMP more.
Well, they're going to have Gragas coming over the top here. Does get the body slam down, puts down the barrel as well. Karma going to get a shield up as well. Gets the Q down. The ignite will be enough from EMP. Isurus Gaming pull a kill back.
Yeah, and the Q connecting from Karma was a massive deal just there from Newbie. Get themselves that trade, secure a bit of damage perhaps on this middle lane turret, and an advantage for LeBlanc. I just mentioned how good she can get at level 6 in terms of trading, because Azir can't overcommit and use his ultimate for a trade. Needs it for the utility. So very well timed from Kratos to be there at all, from EMP to get the burst down.
Hard Random still have a slight lead there, but they've been able to use the Karma other than just in that 2-on-2 effectively so far, helping out with that mid lane gank. Now as they return up into the top lane, they A little bit behind this Lucian for now. He's picked up a BF sword after that first game, going up against the recurve bow coming up Kalista. So definitely has a nice item power spike for himself at the moment.
Yeah, that's the nature of a Lucian Kalista lane as well, is the item spikes, what the items that they actually buy. Lucian's always stronger than Kalista, but if the trade continues and Kalista hasn't outright lost the trade, there's always the Ren stacks. And with the recurve bow, you stack them a little bit quicker.
This turret, though, naturally getting taken down incredibly low by Hard Random. They're only about 600 gold up against ahead of ISG. That's just with the trade of kills going up in the top lane and the mid lane. We'd have to think, once that turret falls, it breaks open a part of the map for Hard Random and also gives them a nice gold boost.
You know something most people don't know, Fish? Is that you max W second on Azir. No one knows that.
Why do you max W on it second on Azir?
Well, everyone just thinks that you max the E because it does more damage or gives you a bigger shield, right? But you want more soldiers.
Well, let's take a look at those soldiers later. It's Graves now. He's going to get jumped on. The Hard Random jungler was caught between a rock and a hard place. Good old Bardo gets a stun here, but still, they pick up another kill for themselves, Isurus Gaming.
Yeah, they do well. The vision that they had was aptly placed. In right place at the right time as well was Kratos. And things are starting to look a little bit better for this Latin America South team. Hard Random. Glimmers of brilliance on the first day. And still a lot of mistakes throughout the third.
They're bouncing back off a loss earlier today too, which means this game is incredibly important for them. Isurus Gaming, they're seen as one of the weaker teams at the moment. They came into it strangely as also one of the contending teams from Latin America South. People thought that they'd be one of the favorites, even put up a poor performance. And it's an important game for Hard Random, bouncing off a loss against a team that is arguably weaker than them at the moment. In the current standings of IWCI, they need to pick up a win here, but so far, Isurus Gaming cleaned up their early game slightly.
Yeah, it's definitely getting it together. What? That stun was insanity. I don't know if it's Bard or if it's Liquid. I think it's Liquid's Bard. He just hits everything.
He's good.
He's real good.
Like, you know, good players.
Like he hard carried Hard Random.
His Bard skill shot's a targeted spell. Gets to click on where it goes. So take a look at the bottom lane for once. Poppy and Maokai are just going to fight each other. They're literally just going to slap each other and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. It's kind of just, that's just the way it is, really. Two tanks hitting each other. Nothing really surprising.
I'll fight you.
Yeah, but they do hit the crap out of each other for what it's worth. It's brilliant. Oh, get him. Pride is winning it.
Slowly.
He absolutely is still dominating the lane.
I kind of think that Maokai did this to himself. He bought a Sunfire Cape. You're not meant to set your own self on fire. You're just a tree, but here's a friend. Graves going to try and get some damage down onto the Poppy. Dashes away, popping the ultimate. And only going to be able to knock back the tree. But there is all the damage coming out from the shotgun. One more pellet to the face will be enough. Hard Random tie it back up 2-2.
Yeah, and once again, this Graves is really far ahead, even in comparison to Kratos. He comes into this bottom lane. Doesn't get ulted out. Body blocked by Smurf as well. Very clever stuff from HR. They get themselves the turret, you would imagine, after that kill.
Graves takes down turret so quickly with all those pellets coming out. But this is aggressive from ISG. They've got Gragas up in the top lane. Bard tries to flash forward, puts a magical journey down. Will be able to get the stun. Temper Fate only locks down Lucian. That's a Gragas, man. You have to deal with him. Few more spears will be ripped out of him. He gets taken down, but they're not done yet. The Blunk's going to come and get onto this Lucian. Dodging the chase.
Yeah, he's got it.
Auto attacks are good. The final one is going to be able to take him down incredibly low, but the heal's enough to save him.
Yeah, the heal saved for the last second and almost baits them in to dive too deep as well. Hard Random gets something out of it. Remember that their jungler and top laner are working together, but their bottom lane is suffering now.
It certainly is. The Poppy got taken down. I believe they got the turret as well from that trade, and now they've got a dragon on top of that. So even though all these kills seem like they're going in Isurus Gaming's favor, they're still 1,000 gold behind the team.
Yeah, definitely. They're doing well still. Hard Random, and they're yet to utilize their mid laner.
Yep.
He's kind of just been sitting there, and EMP now becoming a pivot point for the team, like being able to go to that top lane. It's actually quite important. Whereas they don't need to do that with the Azir. Like, if they can keep it close to standard at the very least and start to scale through to the mid game, when he finishes off a full first item, that's when you'll really see Kira show up.
And you know, we take a look, EMP gets a lot of damage onto this Azir. Has to flash away, actually. Kira not liking that trade too much as Bard. He's going to get locked down up in the top lane. Kalista going to throw a couple of spears over the wall.
Guess who's here again?
Gragas is back up top. That's what they want to talk about. The two junglers. They've been having a decent impact on this game, like we mentioned at the start of the block.
Yeah, well, we called them the most important part of this entire team composition, solely because the 2v2, they're just going to hit each other. Like, by design, they're actually just going to sit there and hit each other until someone gets low enough. Jungler's actually aiding that, influence the pace of that lane even further. One jungler, however, was looking more towards the hard farm variety and just found his way in through a ridiculous level advantage.
Finally, the top lane turret will fall down in favor of hard random. With that, they're about 2,500 gold ahead of Isurus Gaming. This is just from laning phase alone. They've been able to go toe-to-toe against Isurus Gaming, pick up a small lead for themselves this early in.
Like, Steos is the same level as both solo laners at the moment. That seriously is the biggest deal to me. Like, sure, Miracle and Licorice were pushing that down, but they pushed it down because of Steos. And that was actually the Tempered Fade. I think dodged. Who knows? But once again, like, he's actually so far ahead that he's now influencing lanes. So by getting that kill, getting the turret chipped, it was easy for them to then pressure now and take. Ganks bottom, takes that turret. Steos is doing everything.
So far. We'll have to see if the rest of his team can pull back for him as well, help him out. I mean, reacting to his plays quite nicely so far. CMP takes the double end of the Q coming out from Graves.
Because he's doing everything.
This is a little bit of a saving grace for Isurus Gaming as well up in the top lane. They were able to chunk down the outer turret there as well. So eventually we'll be able to pull back the Goldie when they finally take it down. But hard random, they have their eyes set on this mid lane outer turret as well. They're going objective to objective, trying to increase the lead as much as possible this early in the game against Isurus Gaming.
And it's very close to going down. You would imagine one more wave where it's left wave cleared. That will fall. And this once again sets them up because the mid lane turret falling down, the mid lane outer turret in particular falling down, makes the map a lot more open for you to do as you'd please. You don't have to dive short lanes in that respect then. It becomes a bit longer.
And this really feels like the start of the game where Isurus Gaming are like, okay, we need to hunker down now. We need to just try and hold it out because that's where we're good at. Hard random, they're winning this early game quite nicely. It almost feels like they need to try and push that advantage as soon as possible against this team. But for now, Rift Herald is going to fall down. Temper Fade actually going to be pulled up. Graves has to flash away. They're going to try and fight over this blue buff. The rest of Hard Random's here as well. Teleports, they're going to be coming in. The blue buff has to reset eventually. Magical Journey does come out. They're going to continue this chase onto Isurus Gaming. The Karma Shield going to help them run out. But Kalista, that's not your side of the map. Runs into a Lucian, puts so many spears in him. Here comes the LeBlanc. They take him down. Isurus Gaming able to pick up that kill, but they're still looking for a fight. Gragas, incredibly low. The chains are going to be onto the LeBlanc. Karma should have changed of her own to lock down this Grave, but good old Bardo, what are you doing, mate? Trying to take down this Kalista. He got the meme slaps, he gets the exhaust, he gets the kill, one-on-one the 80k. Well done from Bard there, and the rest of Isurus Gaming, they're getting massacred by the lineup. Sorry, Hard Random, they're getting massacred by the lineup of Isurus Gaming as Bard finally rejoins that fight. He's going to get slammed against the wall now by the Poppy, and LeBlanc picks up that kill. It's 7-4 on the scoreboard.
And the only saving grace that Hard Random have got is that Liquid remains to be a god on Bard. That is the only thing they have to save them right now. With the advantages they had, they fumbled the engage, and they overcommitted after they fumbled the engage, and they actually just get out-rotated for that. EMP comes in, Pride finds his way back into engage as well, and it's a simple team fight. They just didn't have anything to follow it up anymore. They should not have committed without the Lucian.
And they eventually take back that top lane turret. The mid lane turret, though, will fall down in favor of Hard Random, with the minions pushing that one down for them. And just like that, even though it was a good team fight for Isurus Gaming, they're still down 1,000 gold against Hard Random. Hard Random, they're doing everything they can to stay ahead early.
Yeah, and to be fair, 1,000 gold still doesn't feel like a lot when you look at what the players have currently accrued for themselves. Once the Morellos is done for EMP as well, like, that guy's going to be unbelievably strong. Doesn't even matter what the opposition has. In fact, he is miles ahead of Kira, who's just genuinely struggling. A 3-1 Kalista as well.
Yep.
Matched completed items.
Is Kira going to get jumped on? He's gone.
He's just dead.
EMP picks up a solo kill in the mid lane as Isurus Gaming looking strong so far. 4-8. They're not ahead in gold right now, but they're definitely ahead in terms of pressure in the early game.
Just that, like, they don't need to be ahead in gold either. That's the other converse point to that, is momentum is much more important sometimes than gold is. This early in the game, Hard Random are just straight up losing the map. So they don't have any momentum. and Isurus Gaming have given it back to them. And starting to close the gold lead with the momentum actually makes you feel further ahead than you are.
And this is a little bit scary. Isurus Gaming, it's a team that the later you go, the stronger they get, the scarier they get as well. To look this dominant quite early in the game, it's not looking good for Hard Random for now. Still a very even game between these two teams, and Hard Random was able to take quite a lot of structures. Now it's Isurus Gaming looking to try and return the favor. They take down the mid lane outer turret. We'll be looking for Dragon, I believe.
It's actually just Graves against the world for Hard Random at the moment.
Still doing the best job he possibly can. He's going to get poked out by LeBlanc there. 2 spells enough to take him down to half his health. So Dragon has been started by Isurus Gaming. They want to try and take as many objectives as possible right now.
Yeah, and they should go from this Dragon, if it's not contested, to the bottom lane turret and try and take that one down.
For now, they're settling with just taking out the Dragon. That's the second Dragon of the game. 1-1 for both these teams. And they're moving exactly doing just that. Moving down towards the bottom lane now, looking at taking down the outer turret as well. They've pulled back the gold lead. It's dead even between these two teams. Hard Random with this turret. Sorry, Isurus Gaming with this turret could potentially pull ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got control of the map right now, and you can see Lucian top lane, Azir mid lane, neither of them with teleport. This 100% is going to go down, and honestly, they should just continue if they continue to see Lucian and Azir.
They're going to pop the Karma shield and run away from that. They pick up the turret for themselves, getting themselves just under 1,000 gold ahead of Hard Random for now. Suddenly, this game's been flipped one more time. It's not only looking like Isurus Gaming on this very weak early game team, they're proving that they're pretty strong coming into 20 minutes here.
Yeah, it continues to be back and forth between both of these teams, but primarily Isurus Gaming have found their stride. And you would think that once LeBlanc recalls, finishes that full item, and once they get the upgraded Runan's Hurricane for Zycro, then they'll comfortably be taking fights and comfortably taking objectives, because they are very close to that point of power.
And let's take a look at all the items really quickly from these two teams. Hextrigger picked up by Graves here, so going to be able to keep him alive from that LeBlanc burst for a little bit longer. LeBlanc, like you mentioned, looking for them around Nomicon next. The two tanky junglers, the two junglers coming in. Sorry, not the junglers. The two tanky members from the side of Isurus Gaming. Poppy and Gragas are picking up some small items here and there. Sunfire Cape completed, looking for the Spirit Visage next. Luden's Echo already been picked up as well, looking for a Randuin's Omen, it seems, coming up next from the Gragas. Like you mentioned, Kalista looking for her Zeal item. Probably the Runa's Hurricane coming out next from her. Going to be able to deal a lot of damage. And lots of the gold right now for Isurus Gaming onto these two carries at the moment.
And that's the good thing, though, because it's on the two carries. Like, it's not just onto the mid laner or just on the AD carry. They've got 2 points of power that they can work around and pivot with. And it makes their availability to team fights, to objectives, to pretty much just moving around the map a lot easier. As you could have LeBlanc soloing mid lane, perhaps, and then you just bring Zycro and 4-man them because Zycro is still very strong.
Here comes the Temper Fate, though. Looks like Hard Random trying to make a play. They're going to flash forward, trying to lock down EMP. They're going to miss everything there. So much burnt to try and get him.
Yeah, it's a LeBlanc, so it's very hard to hit the Bard ultimate on. But the flash still used. And fair enough, it's a summoner for a summoner. Only the ultimate is the excess.
Isurus Gaming trying to respond to this by taking down the top lane inner turret on the side of Hard Random's map. Immediately, they're going to respond by sending members up into the top lane to try and contend for this one. Lots of damage going down to Lucian. They put a few spears into him. They're going to be content with trying to poke this one out. Magical Journey going to be popped by Bard to get out of there. Isurus Gaming trying to take away the jungle from Hard Random now, slowly moving in towards their territory.
Yeah, but you can see the aggression now that they're starting to advance forward, and this is a team that usually wants late game. Usually just want a late game team fight as well. If you accelerate them in any way, generally they do look like quite a strong team here. And something worth noting, I suppose, at the moment is just how strong and confident they do feel.
And it looks like they're being a lot more proactive as well. They were very reactive to a lot of teams they played against. Even their drawn-out game against Lion Gaming and Saigon Jokers, they were very reactive to the plays that were thrown against them. Now, being a little bit more proactive, picking this Karma Kalista lane, trying to get deep into the jungle of Hard Random and pick up picks wherever they can as well. They're looking a lot more solid in this game. Hard Random, on the other hand, they suffered a loss earlier today, which was considered an upset as this blue buff almost gets stolen by his. That's Temper Fate. Will be the lockdown Kalista there. It will be the LeBlanc that gets over the wall. The stun's not going to come out from the Bard. EMP trying to dash back in. There's the Temper Fate. We'll be able to lock down too. But here's Kira. Separates the team. Graves picks up a kill onto the support though. But Miracle, he's still alive. Takes down Zerko. Suddenly, hard random. They turn around a team fight. They've already got 3. They're chasing for more. They're going to go for Poppy now. Pride taking so much damage. The smoke screen going to slow him down. Flash does come out to get away from that. But Isurus Gaming, they trade 3 for 1. And that is not what they were looking for.
And at 23 minutes in the game, losing 3 members could mean the Baron does get started here for Hard Random. They've got the Maokai to tank. They've got a Graves and Lucian to burst it out. This will at the very least get low quick. And Kratos has to clutch.
He definitely has to here. Immediately, Hard Random, they don't want anything to do with that Baron anymore. They just back off, put the magical journey down, get the heck out of there. But they've tied up the game. They made it dead even one more time. I think that's exactly what they would have liked to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And the sad thing is, Kira was very close to getting the best play possible out. But because he got stuck on the wall with his advance, then he couldn't get EMP, who honestly played brilliantly and poorly all the same. Because dodging the Bard ultimate put him in a predicament, and then going back in put him back into the same spot where he actually dies from.
The ultimate was also able to lock down Kalista in that team fight. And we talked about this earlier. All the gold, it's onto these 2 carries. You know, which is a good thing for Isurus Gaming. They split up their resources. They have 2 people dealing damage on their team. But that Temper Fate, it was a 2-for-1 punch coming in from Bard. Able to lock down both of them, forcing LeBlanc to distortion back.
Well, they were just
locking out Kalista.
Rotating, though. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, they didn't have the front line ready to establish themselves with an effective team fight. Hard Random got there and had all 5 members ready to go sooner. And thus the team fight was much better for them.
Well, Drag will be back up in about 10 seconds here. We'll have to see which team decides to contest for it. They've traded Dragons 1 apiece for now. And it's dead even in this game. Could possibly be another fight breaking out over the pit. For now, it's Isurus Gaming that have control of the pit. It'll be Hard Random that try to take control or take it back.
Yeah, and keep your eyes on Maokai as well, because into a LeBlanc, Smurf is probably the biggest point of power on this team.
So far, they're just trading control over which side of the river. Smurf trying to poise aggressively forward. Graves looking to try and get the smite off. Kratos is here as well. He does eventually get the smite, but that causes a team fight. Pride, he's going to go in first. Good Temper Fate locks down the AD carry support. Temper Fate comes out as well, trying to stop them. There's the Maokai into the backlines. Everyone's getting taken down on the side of Isurus Gaming. They're getting slaughtered here as a double kill comes out for Neazir. Only EMP, he's left alive. But Bard, he's trying to stop him from staying alive any longer. Puts the magical journey down, keeps chasing, does get chained there. But still, a 4-for-0 trade for Hard Random, and they get the Dragon.
Yeah, and absolutely with that Dragon and with those kills, they will go straight to the Baron once more. EMP is going to have to pull a rabbit out of a hat to get anything done there. And that is a massive lead now established for Hard Random. And I mentioned the Maokai. Maokai was everything in that fight. He locked down all of the carries and the support for over 5 seconds. And did not even get close to dying, because just Maokai things established them an entire team fight.
And this is the Hard Random we expected to show up today. You know, they were a little bit shaky at first, trying to bounce back from that loss, but now they look fully revitalized and fully energized here against Isurus Gaming. This has been another one of those back and forth matches though, but it's completely swung in Hard Random's favor now.
I think it's safe to say Smurf not losing his lane and going 0-4 is a pretty big determining factor in the outcome of this game. Echo not being available means Maokai's life is a little bit easier.
Yep.
It helped them out a lot here.
He's been doing pretty well in this game so far. We talked about the gold distribution. Also, Isurus Gaming is looking even better on the side of Hard Random right now. Everybody has a piece of the pie at the moment. All looking very strong and picking up some nice core items as well. Lionized Crystal Scepter being picked up by the Azir, helping him with the slows. We see the Rapid Fire Cannon coming out from Lucian as well. Top lane Maokai, he's got 3 taking items. It's going to be so difficult to cut down this tree.
Yeah, no, that tree is basically made out of metal, so no one's cutting it down at all.
Gonna melt him. Not very easy to do with no fire on the side of Isurus Gaming. But for now, Hard Random trying to use that Baron buff to push for the mid lane inner turret. Isurus Gaming do whatever they can to try and wave clear as effectively as possible. This Sun turret being a little bit of a nuisance, helping with their push as well.
They've still got the point of power that is Smurf in this bottom lane, so the natural rotation towards the free tower now occurs, and that gold lead will stretch further because this is not going to slow down anytime soon.
They're 5,000 gold ahead now, and immediately they duck into Fog of War, try to clear out the vision inside the jungle of Isurus Gaming.
But this is a clever and smart really refined way of actually executing the strategy, right? Go between bottom, go between mid. Make sure the minion waves are pushed, secure vision, and control vision in that jungle area, and then execute on objectives.
And they're doing it fantastically. Already took down the bottom lane in a turret. Temper Fate comes out, forces the flash coming out for Kalista as well, and they take the mid lane in a turret.
Yeah, Bard, man, don't give Licorice Bard.
Yeah,
I feel like we said that after the first game, but he is just outright putting in work.
Bard.
He is like the best Bard at this tournament nearly, besides Dumbledore.
They're going to try and jump onto the rest of members of Isurus Gaming here, fighting in between turrets. A flash comes in for Kratos, trying to start this fight for his team. Knocks back the Graves, immediately flashes out. Good ultimate from Kira to separate the team. Magical Journey does get put down. Nobody from Isurus decides to take it, but they just reset a team fight.
Yeah, and the reset's the best case scenario for Hard. Random.
Run away, bud. That's a Magical Journey you need to take to get out of here. Pride looking to try and continue this chase. Now, Isurus Gaming, they put on the acceleration pedal, looking for a chase. Maokai going to try and slow down the front line, is able to successfully do so. Suddenly, they look like they want to turn around, but once again, a standoff, a stalemate. They're going to reset one more time.
It's absolutely just a giant standoff at the moment. Hard Random didn't want to fight it, but then Isurus Gaming kind of presented the fight for them and actually made it a favorable fight. And you can see the immediate turnaround.
And we can take stock of where things are at the moment. 7,000 gold lead for Hard Random. Their Baron buff has expired, but they're still putting a lot of pressure onto this top lane in a turret. For now, though, just going to back off, use the Magical Journey and the recalls to get the heck out of there and possibly return for another fight with their items back up and available.
Yeah, well, EMP would have instantly killed Bard if they tried anything aggressive once more. Magic resistance is a must-have. As you can see, the immediate buy out of Licorice was a lot of it. Makes a lot of sense.
He's like, oh, I don't want to die to this assassin anymore. Lock it of the Iron Solari. I help you. I help myself. Everyone's good.
Yeah, and a null magic mantle towards the Mikhail's Crucible to keep people even more alive. Which you would imagine that actually goes towards the Azir primarily. Actually not that bad of a pickup because he's going for the Abyssal Scepter.
Yep. It's about to mention, he's got his Negatron Cloak. Even Maokai went back, picks up another Chain Vest for himself. So we take a look at the gold really quickly distributed here. There we go. That is fantastic gold distribution. Everybody is even on the side of Hard Random.
That was a full Void Staff as well. He kept it at the Negatron.
Wow.
Like, that's a lot of money now just put into items for Kira. This Azir has just gone from like 0 to hero. Very much empowered for success moving forward. And at the moment, honestly, they can just look towards this sieging once more. Harder to control sideways, however, because they don't have the Baron buff. So Maokai is not going to do a whole lot of stuff against a Poppy. And it comes down to Kira and to, I guess, Licorice as well with his engage and the damage that they can do when they do it.
EMP and Zerko are probably the saving graces on the side of Isurus Gaming as well. They've got lots of damage from, you see the Void Staff being picked up by the LeBlanc. He's 4-1-2 right now. Zerko is also 3-3-1 with 3 major items being picked up. So you have to think if they can't get locked down by the side of Hard Random, which they've been doing really well, they're going to put out a lot of damage onto this lineup.
Again, like, to not get locked down against the Maokai is impossible.
Yep.
Like, he guarantees that you're locked down. That's the thing. And this is also where they've kind of gone wrong by having a Kalista and a LeBlanc. And that Maokai pick is just the smartest decision they could have made.
Certainly has been from the Hard Random. They prioritized that as their first pick during their draft rotation. And now suddenly with this gold lead, they've been able to put on the pressure, try and control the objectives away from Isurus Gaming. Blue buff still gets taken by LeBlanc, though, able to cheekily take that one back from his jungle. And that's the shortest magical journey I've ever seen.
Yeah, they secure themselves that blue buff. A small detail, but it could mean a big deal. Means LeBlanc could get more rotations of her combo off. But once again, the siege has actually started.
They got a lot of damage down onto this inhibitor turret. Teleport actually coming out from Maokai. They're putting some damage out to Kratos. Kratos eating the Maokai, twisted and advanced deep into the backline, takes it down.
That's the turret too.
Trying to do whatever he can to keep the backline occupied from the side of Isurus, but Hard Random dodged the ultimate. They're going to be able to take him down as well. Lucian going aggressive into the backlines as well as they work towards taking down the inhibitor. EMP even went down in that fight. Hard Random might just end the game here, Rusty.
Like, they straight up just destroy them. Smurf gets into the backline. He's doing it again.
They're going for it. Twisted Avant goes in. They take down Kalista. What an ultimate coming from Kira here. Pride's going to go down next. This is game for Hard Random.
And Hard Random, they execute with conviction right now and dismantle Isurus Gaming, who they looked okay early, but they really did falter around the mid-game. And this is the polar opposite to the last game we casted, because a Maokai's there and can actually engage for these teams.
They can run at people and do stuff.
Yeah, and the Kalista LeBlanc, both champions are countered by Maokai to an extent. Makes life easier for them.
And you know what? That game, it really felt like at the start, Isurus Gaming were cleaning up some stuff. They were making mistakes here and there, but were being a little bit more proactive about it. It seems like Hard Random, though, once they found that switch and flicked it, that was it. It was just lights out for Isurus Gaming.
And I think it's safe to say that the switch they were flicking was Bard's ultimate. Like, Bard's ultimate off cooldown, let's engage, let's kill 2 people, wonderful, let's win the game. Like, that's basically how it happened. They found themselves with enough of a gold lead that it was like, well, we can siege bottom. Maokai comes in, kills the backline. Again, LeBlanc can't get out. Gragas got bursted out. He's not really tanky at that stage in the game, going for the runic echoes. It's just so well executed.
And you know what? Let's talk about that Bard really quickly, because that was some fantastic Bard play. We talked about him and Dumbledore being the 2 veteran Bard players of this scene. And you know, that game kind of shows why it should be banned out against the team more.
Yeah, like 100% ban it. I absolutely believe that if it's not banned, then you're making a mistake. It was the last time they played. Guess what? Lost the game. Who'd have thought banning Bard would influence the outcome of the game? No, Licorice is very good, and that was a very impressive performance. Once more, it's almost becoming not surprising.
And you know what? Hard Random, they're able to bounce back from that loss. They looked really shaky there, but still able to pull it back, pick up their second win of the day. Now they can rest. They're still 4-1 in the group. They're still leading the IWCI standings for now. Are they going to continue this impressive form? Because that looked really good for them.
I think that's absolutely a team that can take themselves to the finals. I think that plain and simple, that particular way that they ended the game, the confidence with which they carried themselves is reminiscent to me of Supermassive when they beat Chiefs in very convincing fashion.
Well, congratulations to Hard Random. They still stay top of the table. We're going to go for a quick break, but we'll be back with game number 5. Don't go anywhere.